Our main story is tonight.
Daddy, it's starting!
It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus. What a wild ride this has been. I cannot believe you.
Are you saying that advance have cured death?
We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
Oh, Pickers. We're only getting started.
Caralho, os caras gravaram na quarentena, bicho.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Johnson. Our main story is tonight.
Daddy, it's starting!
It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus. What a wild ride this has been. I cannot believe you.
Are you saying that advance have cured death?
We're still
Let's
vassal
bora,
slaves,
new
we're just
game.
in prettier cages.
Oh, Pickers. We're only getting started.
Jeremy Donaldson. Puta nome estranho, rapaz. Dia 1, a eleição.
Hi, David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave.
E aí, Iago?
Here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're gonna have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry, it's not hard, and I'm gonna stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left.
Caralho,
Don't
bicho.
worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again.
Parece complicado, viu?
You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again.
Four old ladies from East Bleaching. That's followed at 8 p.m. by award-winning documentary series The Shape of Now, which tonight looks at the history of the New York
Eu já tinha pegado outra.
importance during the Great Blackouts of 1871.
You should be getting a signal from the studio soon.
At 9 p.m., sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie The Freedom of
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know seafood makes me go out on pustules.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist, going
Ah.
5, 4.
But now, It's time to join Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay,
Moving on
we're
up.
all good.
The election
Caralho.
Next is going to be the throw to the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsley wins sports
Tenho
personality.
que basicamente gerir tudo que acontece no canal. Ou seja, eu vou mudar de tela e tal.
We'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic.
Right, button
That's
2
all coming up on
in
tonight.
3,
National
2,
Life News.
1, now. Bit late there, mate. Next thing is the throwback to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes. Here it comes. Switch to screen 1 now. Lovely, mate.
The votes are in, and it's a decisive win for Advance. The landslide.
Listen, mate, we often get a bit of interference around this time of night, so keep your eye on the machine on the bottom right. You can move that white dot up and down, avoiding the interference using the yellow knob or your scroll wheel.
Of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's
Caralho, velho.
overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However,
Right, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
we'll be going live to Advance HQ to hear the co-leaders accept.
Cara, nem sei o que tá falando, cara.
2, 1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody.
Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
Oh,
Thought I'd ask him about the election.
personally, I wouldn't try to confuse him with any big words.
É muita coisa pra olhar.
I thought that was our little secret.
Doesn't remember anything I tell him.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your burgeoning friendship. Yeah.
Wicked. We made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long. 10 seconds at
Caralho.
most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get
Não, não é de
screen
terror, não.
selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
From the break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody. Starting in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back
Screen
to the
1,
National
Jeremy.
Life News.
Calma, tio.
Later, we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first,
Get
our
ready
very
to go
own
to Megan
football
on
reporter,
screen
Megan
4.
Wolf, is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to the
go to
shop
Blunderclatch on screen 3 when she says his name.
Caralho, eu
None
botei
other than
antes.
Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
Latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
the medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Rat, that's Peter Jensen, the director.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction.
He's a wonderful chap.
Lovely. Now back to Thunder Twat.
Worked with him on several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter, What a wild ride this has been. What a wild ride this has been. I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course.
Been on that shot a bit long.
I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question, Megan. And not easy.
Eu não consigo nem falar, cara. Tô tão concentrado nisso aqui.
Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering.
Cara, é doido, viado.
I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire. The little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive to
Cara dela.
not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next
Caralho, que merda deu
I've
aqui.
swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look. Exciting stuff.
Cara, não sei, velho.
Watch
Vou
out
te
for
falar,
that interference, mate.
vou te falar que eu nem prestei muita atenção no que ele falou, cara.
I don't understand.
Eu tava tão vidrado em trocar de câmera que eu nem vi o que ele falou.
In the studio, I'd love to hear what he's saying, but don't switch to it now. You can go to the archive when the broadcast's done. We keep everything.
I don't know that.
No, Lance, we mustn't.
Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan. Did it for you, baby. All for you.
Dr. Hemlock.
Eu queria mutar essa segunda tela aqui, ó.
Dr. Hemlock.
You told me, but I didn't listen.
Doctor,
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
you need to see this.
No, it's all too late.
Look at this!
The virus. The sterility. This folder. This is the key.
Stop it all.
Yes.
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
If we should.
Que doideira é essa?
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen, here, is about 2 seconds behind the master screen, here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast.
Caralho,
You
velho.
need to hold down the bleep button, or the space bar on your keyboard, for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm and you'll is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down.
Directly to you. With my new nationwide tour, Alan James is right.
Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
Caralho, meu. Complicado, cara.
4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advance headquarters, where the two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Cut to the outside broadcast.
Go
shit,
for it,
he's
Pat.
pissed. Get ready to bleep.
Well, thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? What a day.
They said we couldn't do it.
They certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying, southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people,
Nice.
you saw right through their shite.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a
it down
couple of
a bit long there,
celebratory
mate.
pints. Makes me coarser than a granny's fanny.
Memorably put.
Just bleep
But to be honest, who can blame Peter for
Caralho, é
celebrating?
difícil, cara.
Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party's what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need
Remember
a team.
the 10-second
A team that can change things. But today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again,
You're only meant
colourfully
to censor
put,
the swear
but
word.
not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers
Cara, eu não consigo, cara.
and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know the sort of, probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So, all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to
Down a
hide.
bit long there,
Earlier
mate.
today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're going to pay up. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. Posh
Pay your
Just
pittance to
bleep the
serve them
rude
drinks in their private clubs.
Caralho, é muito difícil, cara.
Children you raise.
So they've got time to get
Advance
even
have this to say to you.
You're only meant to
This
censor the
say to
swear
you.
word.
Coming for your
today.
sports cars. We
Eu
are
perdi o controle, cara.
sports cars and
It
your
ends
mansions and your
today.
vineyards.
It
We will
ends
put the wealth
today.
Eu não sei nem quem tá falando mais, cara.
should have always been in the hands of the people who created it.
It ends
Today.
today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again. Just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Held it down a bit long there, mate.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leader.
Caralho, velho. Não consigo dizer que não, velho.
Fruity language. And hopefully we got that looped out for you in time.
Ué,
So, as the country braces itself for new government,
caralho, eu esqueci disso, cara.
that's the thing at the national nightly news. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day and advance. I'm Jeremy Dawson. Have a peaceful Jeremy Dawson. Have a peaceful.
Não sirvo pra essa vida não, cara.
Suggest you get some practice in, have another go, that sort of thing. I wish I could help you more, but I'm out of here. This country's
Caralho.
fucked, mate. See ya.
O cara me deixou aqui, velho.
Am I dying now?
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Not going for a drink?
No, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
Build your collection week by week, and very soon you'll have a salad.
Caralho, que complicado, bicho. Cara, esse bagulho dos... Censura excelente, defesa demais, edição terrível. Mano, teu cu, porra. Ah, o filme trimou a censura e falou que foi censura excelente. Ah, B é uma coisa boa, cara.
Most people come into the archive room when they're done with a broadcast. That way you can see what you did and how it looked to the public. As you can see, there's 3 sections to the archive. Broadcasts, that's what you've put out. Rushes, which is all the stuff that was on all the screens. And adverts, which is any advert that you've chosen to show. So let's have a look at the broadcasts. Okay, on the left you can see all the broadcasts that you've done. You can also get to hear from the main menu if you don't actually want to do a broadcast, you just want to see some of your past work. Select any of those and click load tape. Why not watch what you just did? When you're done, hit back.
Well, in a few moments, we'll be going live to tonight's national nightly news. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on tonight on Channel 1. At 7 o'clock, it's the semi-final of the quotation game, and it's a nail-biting quiz tonight as a team of nuclear physicists take on 4 old ladies from East Grinching. That's followed at 8 p.m. by award-winning documentary series The Shape of Now, which tonight looks at the history of the knee-length sock and its importance during the great blackouts of
1971. Not one to miss. At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning... Luke will be grilling his guests in Incisors, and tonight's user...
Our main stories tonight. Moving on up.
For the national night.
I'm Jeremy Dawson.
Vamos ver mais com essa porra.
Tonight. Moving on up. The election win that experts said just couldn't happen. Hopeful or hostile. Controversy as global mega corporation Remington's Fist buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the fly.
Né?
Top chat.
Coitado.
Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Ham's leave. But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance.
Hi, I'm world-class
tem que ver
sporting
tudo.
legend Johnny Hamsley.
Right, click on rushes and let's have a look at those. Okay, these 4 screens, they're exactly the same as the 4 screens that feed you the studio signal when you're doing the actual news. Of course, the difference here is you can mute any screen you like or any combination of screens and you can have a listen to what was going on behind the scenes. Just select any segment, that's any bit between ad breaks over on the left, and hit play. When you're done checking out the backstage secrets, hit back.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know seafood makes me go out in pustules.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going in 5, 4.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy.
These aren't my cards. Please tell me these aren't my cards.
No, they're the right ones, apparently.
Oh, but this gives me nothing, Jenny. They must see that.
I know. I think they think you won't have anything to say.
Oh, for God's sake, come on. It's a huge day. It's not an...
Absolute bonehead. I don't care, Rob. I'm not doing it. I agreed to do one beastly interview a day. I made that completely clear when we started. Check my contract.
Hi, I'm Megan.
Oh, piss off. You're on thin bloody ice, Rob. Whole wheat, man. Whole wheat.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Caralho, velho.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing from
Apparently he's been drinking since lunchtime.
Christ, he's a liability in the best of times.
I know. God help whoever has to bleep this. 10 seconds, everybody!
No caso era eu.
Running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to a...
É muito complicado, tio. Continuemos. Oxi. Ah, dia 2. Ixi. Eita porra. Não deu nada pra ninguém, porra. Esse cagada se fudeu. Justo, lúcido. Caralho, meu. Complicado, bicho. Porra. Liberdade. Bisáudio. Desembucha. Abastado. É. O dramático. As ideias. Screw. Foda-se 1%. Dia 8 consequências. Caralho, o cara tá na balada, bicho.
Let's load up the adverts. You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they? You can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These two buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them, and they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine. And you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully.
No,
and we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
Get one of those. My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon.
10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5,
4, 3.
Cara descansado.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical free thinker. With the assets and
Caralho, velho, era pra ter mostrado a outra imagem.
for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guess if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington
Eu podia fuder com a mulher mostrando outra imagem. Meu Deus, velho.
at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehearts. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas